All right, Rock 95.5 crew. I want to hear everybody make some noise. Let's go. I want to hear you go crazy.
Yeah.
Man, what a week it's been. Welcome to another Rock 95.5 Top 5. I'm Walt, and I've got the entire crew in the room with us. We lost an icon, a legend, a hero this week. We lost Ozzy Osbourne at the age of 76. And so we were already planning to do this podcast with another year. We may have been doing cover songs, but we're pivoting because this man was so important to all of us and our career and rock music in general. So we are going to talk and discuss our favorite Ozzy moments, our favorite Ozzy songs, and that's what we have planned for you on this podcast on Rock 95.5 Top 5. You guys down with that?
We are totally down.
All right. Well, let's begin. Let's go. What do you want to go? Left or right?
Let's go left.
Left.
I haven't felt this bad since the Queen Mum passed. I feel like I lost my dad. Anyway, I love Ozzy. He's truly an icon, and I do think about frontmen, but I have frontman energy, as you know. I'm a lead guitarist, but I'm a little much. So I think about the guitarist in addition to the great frontman, and so I think about Randy Rhoads and Ozzy, and they did this song called Flying High Again. And it is unbelievable. Yes, it's about drug use, which Ozzy had some troubles with, which is why he went solo, because they kicked him out of the band. I don't know anything about that. I was in a band actually similar to Sabbath. It was called Mischievous Whiskers. And so I know what that's like. But Flying High Again, every time I hear it, the guitar work is just so good. I mean, it's the power chords, right? And then, but it's also the intricacies. Ozzy screaming, "Give me drugs!" It's so good. And this was, I think, obviously, and there was a sad moment that happened with Randy Rhoads. I don't know if you know, he passed away tragically in a.
It was terrible. It was avoidable, is what it was.
A little bit. When your bus driver's high on coke, don't give him the keys to the plane.
Life lesson right there.
This is something we have to learn something from these sessions. That's one of them. And so he took the plane, tried to do a little buzz of the bus, missed the bus, hit a barn. And the hairdresser died, too. No one thinks about the hairdresser.
Aww.
I mean, I always do. Obviously. So Flying High Again, Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness, I love you. I'm going to go back to the corner and soak, but I don't know. Yes, I did, actually. Didn't mean it. I do soak from time to time. My basement is moist. Anyway, Flying High Again.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good one. That is definitely
a great song.
That is a great song. Thanks for that, chap. All right, Klinger, what do you got? What's your Ozzy track?
First of all, there can't be a favorite Ozzy song
That is true.
that doesn't include Randy Rhoads. So if your song doesn't include Randy Rhoads, get the out of here. And I say that because
Still plugged in, save the equipment.
how about this? How about this? Does anybody remember Cocoa Roos made by Malto Meal? It's the cheap version of Cocoa Puffs from General Mills.
Oh, yeah.
Does it come in a bag?
It does, a massive, like a lawn bag for $1.
Yeah, okay.
For $1. And they are delicious. But I feel like Zakk Wylde is the Cocoa Roos to Randy Rhoads' Cocoa
Now, come
Puffs.
on. Oh, come on. Come on. That is not fair at all. Not fair at all. Because
So my song is Goodbye to Romance from that very first record that he did after he left Black Sabbath. And it happened to be the very first song he and Randy Rhoads collaborated on. And it's melodic. The guitar riff puts you in tears. And we all know that Randy Rhoads is the best guitarist in the whole wide world. We all know.
I agree with that.
We all know that he can
he was
shred it up.
good. He was really, really good.
So he can shred it. I mean, Zakk Wylde was 13 years old. He didn't know anything at the time that the two of them were collaborating on these incredible songs and these badass records, right? And it sucks that he died at 27 years old. But the very first song they ever wrote together was Goodbye to Romance. And it's sort of Ozzy's nod to and maybe getting, the saying goodbye to Black Sabbath. And he didn't know what was going to happen, right? He didn't know that he was going to go on to have an entirely separate career outside of a band like Sabbath.
And what an amazing career. I mean, think about this guy who joined this band and he was brought into Black Sabbath because he owned a PA.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, and because of that move when he was a kid, he's like, I want to join this band, and the only way they're going to let me in is if I have a PA. So he got a PA, and now he had the career in Black Sabbath, had a career as a solo artist, had a career as a TV icon, and like, what a career. Ozfest.
Amazing. And Zakk Wylde, honorable mention, perhaps. But Randy Rhoads is like
Wow.
the king ding-a-ling.
King Ding-a-ling.
And what I do appreciate is that on this particular song, he's kind of restrained a little bit because it's so easy for somebody like that with those chops to just wail. And he kind of slows it down, and he's so melodic and thoughtful about it. So that's my song.
All right, goodbye to romance.
Great.
All right.
Try those Cocoa Roos. Do a compare and contrast to Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Do they still exist?
Oh, yeah. Multimeal is a huge company, and
Okay.
it, you know.
So Maria from the
Get the
Morning Mosh
stool.
Pit
Hi there.
doing
A little
some
lower here.
Ozplay today.
Osplay. Oh, we like it. It is for me the ultimate Ozzy/Black Sabbath song. There are other ones that I obviously get down with, but nothing hits me like War Pigs hits me, man.
That is.
It's just written obviously about the Vietnam War and all the bullshit associated with that. But the way that the music sounds, not even just the words, of course, Ozzy's voice brings so much to it, but just that beginning guitar sounds like the word grueling to me. That just slow, like almost crawling through sludge sound, and then it goes right from that into that like kind of pissed off like drum take, like the wait a minute,
Just the hi-hat, like it's
yeah. And it puts in me this like feeling of like anger of like, why the fuck am I in here crawling through this sludge, and whose fault is this? And then Ozzy comes in with those vocals.
Well, and that's the thing, and I have been pointing this out all week long, is that the vocal line in War Pigs is not an easy line to sing because
Yeah.
of those intervals.
Yeah.
In the verse, going up the climb, going na 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 na. That is
Yeah.
not an easy thing to sing,
Yeah.
and he nails it every time. And I respect him so much as a singer. A lot of people might not, because you listen to him talk.
Yeah.
And he's, especially in his older age with the
Someone
Parkinson's.
has gone into my room and taken all the beers out of my room.
But when he
Was that
sings
supposed to be British?
No. It was supposed to be Ozzy. That's his own accent.
But an amazing song. I mean, it takes 7 minutes to get it all in there because it is so amazing. But what an amazing 7 minutes of rock that is.
So, and we got to shout out Geezer Butler for those lyrics, because he also acknowledges, he's like, yeah, no, I know I rhymed masses with masses, but I also couldn't think of anything else to put in there. So you're going to live with it, and live we shall.
Awesome. What a great song. Love it. Thank you, Maria. All right, Katie. Katie, who you can hear on the weekends here on Rock 95.5.
Yeah, so I originally knew Ozzy kind of more on the voice acting scene, funnily enough, because he voiced in one of my childhood favorite movies, Romeo and Juliet, which is a gnome movie about Romeo and Juliet, and he played a deer in it. Fun fact for you. It's very funny. But also because I was a huge Marvel fan, I watched Iron Man, and at the very end of the first movie, he reveals saying, "I am Iron Man," and then it goes into the credits with Iron Man, Black Sabbath playing. So that is my song today.
Another good one.
Phenomenal. It's one I feel like everyone learns to play on the guitar at some point. But also, I'm a huge fan of storytelling in songs, and I feel like Ozzy and Black Sabbath did an amazing job of doing that, especially with Iron Man, because well, I found out later on the song is not about Iron Man from the comics. It is instead about a time traveler that goes to the future, finds out that an apocalypse has happened. A magnetic field turns him into an iron person. He becomes mute. He goes back in time to try and tell everyone that the apocalypse is happening. No one believes him and makes fun of him, so he instead causes the apocalypse to get back at all of them.
Are you serious?
Yes, it is an insane song.
I never knew that, and I can't wait to hear that song again.
It's so good once you know the story. I love songs with stories to them. It's probably why I'm also a musical fan.
Yeah,
But
we're not going to hold that against you.
Yeah.
No, that is awesome. That is it's a great song, but that is also an awesome reason why.
no.
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
I'm towering, as if I'm towering over this microphone. That's okay. It's interesting because one of the
best.
One of the things that you had said for Maria's song is that maybe he wasn't the greatest singer. I disagree with that. Like, I feel like
What? I said he was a great singer.
somebody said something. Maybe he couldn't hit notes. I don't know. Am I
No,
making this up?
you are dyslexic on what I was saying because I said he could hit these.
Yeah,
he
got it.
wrote an amazing line and he could actually hit it. He was incredible.
Got it. Okay, cool. So what I do want to say is his final show where he did play Iron Man and War Pigs. I felt like his voice, and Sharon sort of started to downplay it or set expectations of like low expectations leading up to the final show. I felt like his voice, when he sang, just came alive on those songs that we have loved for so long.
100%.
He sounded so good. He was energized, and it's heartbreaking that he passed away. I am a bit surprised at 76 years old that he did die because
I never thought he would. I thought he was going to be like.
I mean, I know he was in that battle with
indestructible.
Parkinson's, and I know he had all these ailments, but it just sucks.
I saw today that Tony Iommi says that he thinks he just held on to make it to that show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had been, and then he just kind of went downhill after that. But he held on to make it to that event, and then.
Isn't that? Yeah. So I just wanted to say that, like, I felt like he just came alive.
Man, it's so incredible because like you hear him talk over the past couple of years, struggling with the disease and the age and everything, and then you hear him sing those songs, and even like there is the isolated vocals for "Mama, I'm Coming Home," and you can hear the emotion in what he's singing, and it's like that's heartbreaking because it's like. Here he is in his hometown playing this enormous show in front of 40,000 people and the world, not knowing that he's also raising the most money that any charity concert has ever raised in the history.
Yeah.
What an incredible moment.
You know, I love that's such a good point. And Maria's song, like War Pigs or any of these songs we're talking about, 50 years old, and he's, still hitting these songs and driving the emotions and stuff. And I feel like that's a cool exclamation point to his career and ultimately his life, where, the stories of snorting ants and biting the head off of a bat and then raising $200 million, boom, career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's such an incredible balance. So
Yeah.
Love it.
I thought it was really impressive that the sacrifices he made to put on that farewell show, and not only him, but all the musicians and the staff. No bands got paid. They all covered all their own costs. None of those people there got paid, the whole crew and everybody. And in order for Ozzy to do the show, he had to forego his medication. And when you suffer from Parkinson's, it's really quite painful, those spasms. And so he instead put up with the pain in order to do the show. And I heard they had to strap him to that chair to kind of hold him in.
Why? What does the medication do that would?
He couldn't sing with it. He wouldn't be able to sing right at all with it. So he said it was the only way he'd be able to do it. And it was a sacrifice of one thing in order to give us the show that he wanted to do. And how many artists of any kind, but especially musicians, get to say goodbye? Like, really get to say goodbye on their own terms like that?
Yeah.
Anybody?
No. I mean, it's like the only thing that comes close, and it's not the same, is Bowie maybe, because he orchestrated his death in as much as he put out a record on Friday, died on Monday.
Right.
And then the single is called Lazarus.
Right on.
Lazarus. So it's like
Elvis was on the toilet. That was kind of a goodbye.
Get on camera.
The other question is, all the bands that came together, who is the band that Sharon kicked off the thing? Was it Motley Crue because they wanted to get paid?
Right. It was who they wanted to get paid, and she's like, nobody's getting paid, but we don't know, do we?
And also, I mean, Motley Crue, like we came to England to play live. Motley Crue probably couldn't be doing that anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Motley Crue made a statement, and they said that they had health issues in the band. That's why they couldn't make it.
Well, I mean, but if you're the band, you're probably going to make a statement to make yourself look better, which they do. But honestly, they did have health issues. Vince Neil has been dealing with some stuff. They had to push back their residency, but nonetheless. All right, Michael, what do you got?
All aboard. Mine is Crazy Train, but not like you'd think. My parents were really strict, and I wasn't allowed to listen to Ozzy in my life until I hit I was probably 15 years old when the Osbournes came out. And so I didn't even realize, this is going to sound really dumb, but the intro to the song is Crazy Train, but it's done in such like a jazzy
lounge
form that I never put it together until later on. And so my intro to Ozzy would be Crazy Train, but the television theme version.
The lounge version.
Exactly. So that was it.
Amazing.
And I fell in love with the family. One thing I loved about that show is even through all their struggles and, and there were a lot of them, they still loved each other, man. They stuck together.
And it's incredible because when you think about it, that was honestly the first to do a reality family show like that. I mean, now we've got the Kardashians. Thank you, Ozzy.
The Stallones and the you name it. There's a million of these things.
Family Jewels with Gene Simmons.
Yeah,
It's like, but it was Ozzy and the Osbournes that really were the first to create that genre.
Yeah.
And they did it so well and so endearing that we actually care about them more because we saw them as real people.
Yeah, normally we hate reality stars, but I fell in love with that family. So
And to mention, not to take anything away from the lounge version of Crazy Train, but that works because it is a really great song.
it is. Yeah, it's great.
And you talk about somebody like Randy Rhoads throwing down, I mean, an iconic riff, probably one of the best riffs of all time.
I did play yesterday. Did I play Paranoid in the live version we have?
With Randy Rhoads?
Is
Yeah.
the one with Randy Rhoads, and it is just a screamer. I mean, he adds his own flair to it, and obviously the original is just super sick, but that's a cool version of that, you know?
Yeah, it's so good.
Let me just stand over here on camera.
I could make the argument that a good song would be good no matter if you change the genre or not.
Absolutely.
Because it's the musical
It's the
musicality and like the lyrics that really put a song together.
Right. I've always said that you want to hear if a song is really good, strip out all of the production and everything, play it on a piano or an acoustic guitar. It's the vocal and the melody and the chord structure. That's the song. And if it works stripped down like that, then you've got gold.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, Maris.
Yeah. I've admitted a few times that I listen to the music first and then hear the lyrics and then just blown away. So Shot in the Dark caught me off guard because the music really does just bring you in right with that intro and then Ozzy singing so well. And I'm just vibing with it. You do your research. And I was leaning into, it was kind of like an underdog feel. Like, you know, you're coming from behind, nobody sees you, but when you get there, it's like, I'm here and everybody has to acknowledge you. Nah, it's all about stalking. It's all an interpretation, but it's one of those things where Ozzy has always had amazing musicians around him at every phase of everything that he's done. So when you do actively have a song about stalking or a really bad murderer, you can get distracted and just vibe with it. And it's just like, this is really nice. So.
What a nice little stalking song.
So Shot in the Dark is your song.
Yes.
And that features Jakey Lee, who was a part of the final show. And honestly, I just read this morning. Jakey Lee received a text from Ozzy the next day saying like, oh man, I wish we had more time to spend together. I hope you had a great time. I'd love to catch up and really just hang out with you when I come to LA next. So next time I come to LA, I want to hang out with you.
Yeah, and I think like as we've seen all of the tributes from actively everybody in the industry, Ozzy was that mentor for generations of musicians. It was always welcoming, arms open, and like, you know, Ozzy did a lot of crazy shit. Nobody's gonna deny that. But when he was one-on-one with you in that moment, he was very encouraging about whatever product you were putting out there in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, think about all the bands that he helped launch careers for. I mean, I'm only going to touch a couple of them. Def Leppard, he took them out in 1981. Korn, he took out on Ozfest. System of a Down, he took out. You know, and that's
Britney Spears. He was very instrumental there.
Thanks, Chap. Thanks, Chap.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, man, he did so much. It's unbelievable when you boil it down, and you start talking about all the things that the guy did and contributed to music. Mind blowing.
Yeah, I also want to mention Youngblood.
And
Like, he's
dude,
passed the torch.
dude,
That
what
was a cool backstage moment.
what a great moment on stage when Youngblood was able to come out and sing "Changes," which is an incredible song.
good.
I mean, you think about. I said this yesterday on the air. When you think about Black Sabbath and all the sludge and heaviness and darkness that they brought, and then they come out with a song called "Changes" on Volume 4, and it's like a Beatles song.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. And then Youngblood stepped up, had his moment, and he has arrived. It was like U2 for me at Live Aid was that moment, seeing Bono take over, and they arrived at Live Aid. Youngblood arrived to the world on stage in Birmingham 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think one of the best clips I've seen is the backstage moment where it's Youngblood and Ozzy talking before the show, and Ozzy's like, "If I can do anything for you, always let me know." And Youngblood just said the music was fucking enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I love that
He
too.
wrapped that one up with Conquer America. And I was like, yeah, that one just hit.
Yeah. All right, Capone,
All right, man.
what do you got, Patrick?
All right. So the song I picked was "The Wizard."
You're
Not
on camera, right?
Not for any obvious reasons, honestly.
on the nose.
Right, I know, right? But like the thing about that original Black Sabbath album, I honestly consider it like a blueprint for great rock albums of all time. I just loved the whole thing that made it happen, that you had a young group of guys who were doing something completely different. They raised the money themselves, and they could only afford 2 days to go into a studio. And one of those days, you have to mix the album, right?
Right.
So really, you had 1 day to track. So you got to go in. You got to go in prepared, and you're basically cutting every single one of those tracks on the album live. All the guys were playing at the same time. Ozzy was in the vocal booth. They're all looking, and what we hear on that album was them live in
It's
the
basically
studio.
a live record, yeah.
Right. And it's the one thing, so when I first heard it, I was just so blown away by the opening track. It was only by the time The Wizard, which is the second track, came on, that I was like really like, what's going on here? And then you hear that cool harmonica.
Yeah.
Right? We don't talk about Ozzy the musician. We talk about Ozzy the vocalist and the front man and the crazy man. But he could play the living hell out of a harmonica.
Yeah.
And it sounded perfect, right? You don't
It
think
was so good.
a
I mean, like-
blues harp and a metal-y song?
Well, you put reverb on it,
Yeah.
and suddenly it sounds ethereal and haunting.
Creepy.
And coming after Black Sabbath, the song, which has the bells ringing and all of that stuff, it set the tone. It's totally set the tone.
The musicianship in Black Sabbath is outstanding from all of the players, but it wouldn't have worked without Ozzy.
At
That
100%.
unique voice that floated on top of it almost gave the band permission to be that jazzy, weird thing happening
They had
in
their
the
moment.
back.
They had their moments with Ronnie James Dio later to come, but I don't think Sabbath would be Sabbath and would have gotten to those moments without Ozzy. Sabbath doesn't exist without Ozzy.
No. I agree.
Not to mention just like the theater that he brought to the band as a frontman in general, just leading that charge of being, I think you said it the other day, Chap, of being both scary yet likable simultaneously. And let's be so real, sometimes when dudes sing, they get flack for it because they're like, oh, you're a singer. Not Ozzy, man. That was so cool. And the way that he was able to do it and like just maintain this power behind that mic was dope.
So that's going to bring me to my song, because my song is "Mama, I'm Coming Home," which doesn't have.
He's gonna cry.
I'm looking
I
at
can
you,
tell he's
Klinger,
gonna
which
cry.
doesn't have Randy Rhoads playing it, but it does have lyrics written by Lemmy, and it is Ozzy not being a heavy, dark guy, but he is singing his ass off, and what a great melody. Ozzy's favorite band was the Beatles. And I think you can hear that influence in lots of songs throughout his career. A lot of people have said that Dreamer is like his Imagine from John Lennon. But Mama, I'm Coming Home, I mean, it just hits with all the feels, especially since he got to play that at Birmingham for the last show. But the vocals are what I'm focusing on here, because I love the melody. I love I love just how he's able to. Sorry, Chap is walking around the room and he's like having a moment here. So it's
We're just supporting you right now.
Okay.
We're here for you. We're here
Keep
for you.
going.
Go. Testify, Walt.
Testify. I just, to me, that is one of the most powerful Ozzy songs. But like you said, you can't pick just one because they are all, there's so many great. But as my choir over here to my right would attest that Mama, I'm Coming Home is
He's finally home.
He's home.
He's home now.
Mama! Mama, I'm coming home!
Beautiful.
I love it.
Good guys.
So, I mean, it is incredible what he has given us all, and I love sharing the stories, and it's been amazing hearing all of these stories on the radio, and we will continue to share them as we move through this year, because this is one of those, this is big. Losing an icon like Ozzy is a big deal, and not being able to have him here, not knowing what's next, it's weird. I was thinking today as I was walking in, this is...
He's holding it together.
This is when he cries,
this
for sure.
this has
Good
been the
break.
first day of my entire life where Ozzy isn't here.
Oh, now I'm gonna cry.
It's just kind of weird because it's like, Black Sabbath was as soon as I could turn on a turntable, there was Black Sabbath making music, and ever since there's been all of these things, and now he's not here. It's the first time. It's weird. It's weird.
That's a good point. I'm also still vibing on what Pat said as far as playing that record as a live record. I can't imagine bands that do that now.
Oh, man.
I wish they would.
Yeah.
I wish they would too, because I think one of the reasons that so much rock today sounds so similar
Yeah, dude.
is because of the way it's produced. Everybody just recording their own parts separately. But when you get all musicians in a room together and they can vibe on each other and look at each other, that's where you get the magic.
Go back
Magic
and
And
has
that
what you
whole
said.
album is just loaded with that kind of a magic.
I think we should all go back and listen to that record knowing it was made that way.
Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing I'd like to say is like count the number of times in our lifetime. Kurt Cobain was certainly a big one in '94. I remember exactly where I was, but we're always going to remember what happened 2 days ago, no matter where you are going forward, decades ahead. Ozzy, I think, perhaps could be a little bit bigger of a passing than Kurt Cobain.
I think so. I think he touched more people. I think because his career was much longer.
Much longer.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, this is like John Lennon for me. This is like John Lennon or maybe a Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But different yet, right? And I'll tell you, one of the most beautiful things for me was heading downtown, hearing you guys do your breaks. But what was super interesting was as I was driving to the train station, hearing Rock 95.5 and everybody playing Ozzy on the radio. And then as I got into the station, the Starbucks was playing Ozzy. You know what I mean? Not John Mayer,
Right.
Like, what's going on? And then as I'm walking the streets, every car driving by playing Ozzy. That's a moment.
Yeah, it was. I mean, even the news channels on TV, the cable news was doing bits on Ozzy. It's a big event.
It's one of those things that transcends past rock music. When we got to talk to Leon from WGCI on the morning show yesterday, he reminded us Ozzy is known very well within the rap community because of a lot of the covers or samples that have been utilized. All the video games that we grew up with that Ozzy was just a part of is just like he's always been within, the rock world, but everybody knew Ozzy and had respect for him.
Ozzy's favorite cover of War Pigs, T-Pain.
Yeah. Oh, that cover.
It was
really
incredible.
great.
dude.
Yeah, so good.
Shit, I haven't listened to that in a long time. That is,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know. I'm just seeing it right now. I don't know if do we want to. Hulk Hogan just passed away.
Yeah. Breaking news: Hulk Hogan just died.
Oh.
So
Cardiac
let's we got to cross this week off because from Sunday we celebrated Chester Bennington passing.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday we lose Ozzy. Thursday we've lost Hulk Hogan. This week on the calendar is destined to be the worst week of the entire year.
Everyone take your vitamins.
Well, it's been fun being able to
This has
chat
been
with
an
everybody.
incredible conversation.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop here. If you're listening, hopefully you've enjoyed hearing us banter about it. I'd love to hear what your favorite songs are. Feel free to comment wherever you can on the Rock 95.5 platforms, and we'll be back next month with another Rock 95.5 Top 5.